All right, thanks, y'all. So this is the last piece of the evening. I know a lot of you are ready to get up and stretch your legs, and so I'm going to ask something unreasonable, which is hang out for a few more minutes. We have one more short talk. I am really thankful to Todd and the entire ATO demo team. This is our 12th year of running what we call Riot Demo Night at the end of the first day of this event. So this is a picture from one of the early days, but our organization, if you're not familiar, we work with entrepreneurs, those folks that are doing exactly what Jason talked about, being unreasonable and saying, I'm going to create a job for myself. We've been around, see if I can get that to switch. There we go. We've been around for a long time. I'm not going to talk on this right now, but if you want to learn more about what our organization does or how to get involved, the whole team's got orange pants. You can find us downstairs on the mezzanine in a few moments. But we're really working at this intersection of technology and entrepreneurship. We're a sponsor-funded organization. This evening, I want to give a special call out to just a couple of organizations that have really put a lot of effort in tonight's partnership. The City of Raleigh, you're going to hear from our final keynote here in a moment, a little bit about what Raleigh is doing at this intersection of technology, innovation, and open spaces, and then several of our other sponsors that are here this evening. This is what Demo Night looks like. It's on the left as you leave the building down the escalators. It's a free event. We've got some beverages. We've got a lot of startups showing off, and I'm going to talk about two tactical ways that you get involved, and then we'll bring our final speaker up. The first is that everybody that wants to join this evening is going to play the role of an investor. So we're going to give everybody $300,000, what we call Larry Bucks, and we've got 25 early stage startup companies downstairs that are showing off the things that they're working on in technology across all different industry spaces, and their job is to talk you out of your money. So we look forward to seeing which startup is the most successful in pulling your investment this evening. One of our startups is a company called Bingo Bard, and they make social bingo games for all different kinds of scenarios, but one of the core industries that they're looking at is conferences and events. And so they've created a bingo game, which you can get to by scanning this QR code. You can play as a guest. You don't have to give any personal information or anything. If you don't want, you can sign in if you want to join their newsletter and so on. But what we're going to do is, as you go around and you meet these startups, there's a chance for you to finish your bingo card and get a little thank you for participating. Innovation and entrepreneurship is where the kinds of things that Jason just talked about can happen. And usually those happen in places that look like this, co-working spaces, for example. And this is a photo of a local place called Raleigh Founded. If you're from out of town and you need a place to work while you're in town, they have an exhibit table downstairs. You can learn a little bit about what they're doing. But we think that there's an interesting opportunity here in North Carolina to build kind of the first true innovation and incubation space in an open space, and that's Dorothea Dix Park. This is not a photo of Dix Park. This was an AI-generated a couple of images around this idea of what would a technology incubator or co-working space look like in a public venue. So we're going to hear about Dix Park today. Tomorrow, there's an event called the Connected Triangle Plus. It is in one of the rooms here. I forget which one it is. It's on your All Things Open agenda. But full day if you want to learn about what the City of Raleigh and regional partners around the whole area are doing to look at bringing the kind of the intersection of technology, the public sector, innovation, and entrepreneurship. I encourage you to attend this session. You can learn a little bit more about what we're teeing up this evening. Without further ado, I want to ask Kate Pearce to come up and present a little bit about what we're doing with Dorothea Dix Park and some cool things to perhaps visit if you're from out of town here in Raleigh. So, Kate.
Okay. Thanks, Tom. And really appreciate everyone being here. I'm only going to be here about 10 minutes. I know I'm standing either between you and dinner or you and getting out of this conference facility or you and demo night. But Dix Park is a 10-minute walk from here. How many people have actually gotten out of downtown Raleigh or been to Dix Park? Okay, amazing. So a little bit of a local audience. I did want to share just a couple of things before we get started and hit the video for a project we just opened. Maybe.
Halloween is on sale.
We can skip the video. It's cool. All good. But if you'll go back to the slides. So, anyway, it's a really great video. It's on YouTube. Google it. All right. There we go. I want everyone just to think about, what is your earliest memory of being in a park or an open space? This is mine. Yes, it's on an old rusty slide in my hometown of Meridian, Mississippi. My mom sent this to me over the weekend, and I just thought a little bit about how much things have changed. We experience our parks and open spaces differently. If y'all are from around here, maybe you've gotten your selfie in the sunflower field. I'm seeing a lot of heads shaking yes. This past summer, we had over 200,000 visitors to the sunflowers in a 2-week period, which is just wild. And for a long time, people thought of parks as passive spaces, places where people walked, tried to get away from technology, tried to get away from the ills of the city. But parks over the past decade have been quietly expanding their job descriptions. They're now classrooms. They're cultural centers, they're biodiversity hotspots, and they're places where community comes together. Yeah, it does snow sometimes here, very rarely, but when we get that rare North Carolina snow, everyone comes to Dix Park to go sledding. Parks are becoming more sustainable, smarter, more visited places, and Dix Park has the opportunity to even continue to change the way how we think about parks. And during the pandemic, parks were a lifesaver. Having outdoor space and places with digital connection made places where people could work safely together but apart, places where we could gather and learn. And that combination, the physical and the digital, turned parks essentially into essential infrastructure and not just fun places to hang out. I do want to talk about attention. Technology and nature always aren't friends in the sandbox. There's legitimate concern about adding technology will pull people away from the wonders of the outdoors, and a lot has been written on this. But I think what we're seeing is that just as the digital world introduces us to new and varied types of connection, so must our physical world. We need to be clear about something. Technology in parks should enhance the experience, not distract. The goal is not to be a gadget showroom, but it is to use technology to amplify, I think, what we're all trying to do, which is bring people together, and technology can really deepen that connection. And one example of this is going to be really basic, but I'm going to share it. The last time I was in this conference room, we built a virtual park experience. We even piped in smells of cut grass and piped in birds chirping so that people could feel like they were in a park while in a conference center. We hosted a number of online and in-person engagement opportunities. We expanded access to information, which ultimately led to more participation, more understanding, and more buy-in. We even created a virtual reality of a unicorn running through a park. So I had a horse dress up as a unicorn, run through the park, and then created this idea of the unexpected and the unreasonable being something that we could manage. And we took that all across the city to inspire people about Dix Park. And it is that combination of traditional and digital, in-person and online, that led to the city of Raleigh's largest outreach and engagement of over 65,000 area participants and the creation of the Dix Park Master Plan. So we're the yellow star, so you really are super close. There's no excuse you shouldn't get out and go enjoy the park today. And all of this has led to a lot of sustainable but innovative thinking and some amazing advances especially with the project we opened, Gibson Play Plaza, which you would have seen in that really cool video, which you're all going to go Google later. But one of the things is we have this really interesting automated stormwater infrastructure system, a place where technology, environmental sustainability, parks, and open space comes together. Also, it just kind of looks like an Oscar Mayer Wienermobile that we've parked under the ground, but it has become the hub for all of the water that's stored on site. And while Play Plaza is indeed more efficient, smarter, it's also just a place where community comes together to have fun. And a lot of people are coming. Since opening, we've had over 650,000 visitors. We opened June 6th of this year. This has made us the #1 local destination, the #2 destination visited in North Carolina. We're using a service called Placer AI, and it's not just the people counting that we're interested in, it's that next level of information, the demographics, the locations, the buying habits. We're using that data plus predictive analytics to start thinking about everything about how we need to maintain certain spaces or what kind of programs and events will be most successful. And all of that is with the power of AI. People have come from all over the United States. I think we need to do some more outreach in South Dakota and Idaho. So if you're from those two places, come to the park so we can get your dot. And really thinking about how this data and this information informs how we develop places of the future. We're doing a lot of interesting stuff already, but what I want to challenge y'all with is to help us think about the future of the park and the innovation of place. We have a lot of things that are going to sound basic to this crew. I understood like 10% of our first keynote, but that's okay. But my hope is that this presentation catalyzes to you to think about how you can use your own skills in improving the public realm for the public good. We've got solar power buildings, Wi-Fi benches provided by Google. We're developing a digital twin model. We're thinking about autonomous transportation solutions, and we're already working on all of these things. But we have a really interesting challenge. We are taking a 19th century campus and turning it into a 21st century park. This place was originally built in the 1850s. The infrastructure systems are here from the 1970s. How do we take aged infrastructure, old buildings, and create the park of the future in a place where community wants to be? How do we honor the legacy of this place as Native American hunting and gathering grounds, as a plantation with an enslaved workforce, as the state's first mental health hospital? How do we think about that history while we're also making history with the creation of this park? How do we make experience richer, fuller, more inclusive, more engaging, more intentional? How do we use AR and VR to bring that history to life and also to inspire the next generation of visitors about the future of the park? How do we open up and connect a campus that was closed to the public for 150 years? What are the next innovative transportation solutions? How do we continue to build connections between people and place, even for people that will never physically visit this place? How do we use data to drive community ownership and measure impact and create experiences unlike anything else? I just want to pause here. We have a 2-day festival every spring that's curated by Jay Cole, who is a North Carolina native. This is Dreamville. 100,000 people from around the world come to Raleigh for 2 days, and it is something unlike anything else in this city. At the end of the day, parks have always been about connection, and how do we use technology to continue to enhance and increase that type of connection? We need to be clear that this connection is all about connecting with our neighbors, connecting with our friends and family, connecting with unforgettable experiences, connecting with our dogs, and connecting with places that are uniquely our own. If you're not from here, I know there's a place in your home community that is your go-to place, the place that when you leave from your office or from your home, you get out into that third place and enjoy. How can technology and innovation build and continue to build those connections about how we think about parks and open spaces? And I'll just leave you with this. The creation of Dix Park is probably the most exciting urban park project in America. Most growing urban areas do not have 300 acres downtown to create of the park of the future. What I ask of you is, as you're here in Raleigh over the next couple of days, come out to Dix Park, experience it, but also think about how what you do could help create the park of the future. And I invite you to join us. The other great thing we have going on right now is everyone Google Thomas Dambo, D-A-M-B-O. He's an international troll artist, T-R-O-L-L, of the real kind, not the digital kind. And he is out building 5 trolls in the park right now, and you could experience that today. So I welcome you to be a part of it. Thank you for that little bitty applause back there. Enjoy your time in Raleigh, and get out and visit Dix Park.